This is the new American media.
Talking about the cosmic science angle. When you look back through history, you have baseball great Ted Williams and Walt Disney who tried to cryogenically freeze themselves, back to the pharaohs, trying to become embalmed, wanting to come back again. I want to get, and let there be light. I wanted to get your thoughts on the soul. Is that something, because looking forward, you see, I think it's the 2020 project where they're trying to download the human soul that can live forever. I just want to get your thoughts across the panel on what the concept of the soul is moving forward as technology keeps advancing.
1 minute apiece for the soul. Greg Braden.
I'm not sure I understand what the question. I know what your words are. What you're asking us, what our idea of the soul is, or where it fits into.
Its identity as we move forward.
Moving forward, there are projects, there are people, there are scientists and researchers that are trying to download the soul, to continue the soul, to disembody from this thing that we walk around in, this skin suit, and continue it mechanically, electronically. My question is that something that can even be done? All right, now let's go with that.
Will technology allow us to do that?
I don't think it will, but I think science, this is the value of science. Science is only the information, it's the knowledge of our relationship to the world, and it's the missing piece right now. John Wheeler, Princeton University, before he died in 2008, said this so brilliantly. He said, you know, we're in a universe that is still evolving. It's not finished yet, and until we write consciousness back into the equation, we're not going to figure out how this thing works. So I think science will lead us first to understand that the universe is conscious and it is alive in that respect, and from that, the soul is going to be the next step. From that, are we going to be able to duplicate it and download it? That's a whole conversation about the holographic nature of this universe and the fact that you and I aren't really even in this room. And when we really get what that means, then the whole idea of the soul even begins to change. So it's.
Well, it expands.
Go ahead, Daniel. Let's get you in. For the sake of time, we'll just do you
And what it
on
does
that
is
question.
it expands. Remember, it has to be carbon-based. In order for the soul to maintain, you have to have H2O, you have to have water, you have to have a carbon base. Okay, so whether it's possible to transmit the soul into some electrical system or some device or computer, it's possible. Mind-matter interfacing is already happening, but is that the place where people who want to live forever? Are those people, just like he was defining it, those who wanted themselves frozen so they could cure the others? If you know what I know, you don't want to stay here 1 second longer than you're supposed to be here. And if you know what I know, you want to get out of here maybe a half hour early. Okay, so you miss the pain. But remember this, and this is a great position, but watch. You're made up of atoms, of molecules, and of cells. Okay? And in-house that is a soul. If you take all the empty space out of an atom in your body, that's 94.6% empty space. If you take all the empty space out of every molecule in your body, that's 98%. And if you take all the empty space out of every cell in your body, that's about 97.8%. So by taking all the empty space out of every atom in every body in the United States, you take all the empty space out of every molecule of everybody's body in the United States, and take all the empty space out of every cell. All 310 million of us will fit in an average-sized matchbox. With that being absolute science, who are you and where are you? Just the same as what Greg was saying. So when you try to combine or lock the soul into a consciousness that's a machine, you have lost your identity of reality and your ability of perceiving who you are within this framework. Please, even if they can figure out how to do it, don't do it.
Well, you know what's
I think there's an even more fundamental issue here. What on earth is a soul? I mean, I have a real problem with this whole body-soul thing. I mean, that's that whole old thinking of duality. I mean, we're not really talking much about the C word. Really, consciousness is what we're really talking about. And we haven't really talked about it much in this panel, no, I don't think they are going to reduce it to some sort of mechanized thing, although we can record the sound of molecules, we can record the frequency of a variety of things to actually encompass consciousness. Consciousness is everything. And here's our issue, is we keep trying to create this particulate separateness of each of us and not understand that consciousness is this all-enveloping thing of which we are a part. And when we can begin to tap into that and harness that, that is really where we're going to start moving forward and evolving. So, you know, we perhaps want to address that a little bit more in this panel before we go.
Well, you talk about the late baseball great Ted Williams, by the way. His family, after he died, cut off his head, and it's frozen cryogenically because they are, I swear to God, they are waiting to be able to get to the point where they can download his memory into a clone body, and you'll have another Ted Williams again. Now,
But there's hundreds of that.
but this is what's so bizarre about this, and let's take the soul out of it for a moment. If that is possible one day, and you know, when you walk around and you're thinking to yourself and your memory's there, you've got that little voice in your head that is supposed to be you. But other than that, your body's like a shell, right? You know, you move your hand, you do this, but what is it? Think of those possibilities. If they really can download memory, they can clone your body, put your memory in it, and you literally will never die. You will just go on and on. I'm not sure I want to do that.
No.
No way.
Okay. What is the soul? It's a very good question. In fact, Unarius and Ernest Norman has clearly answered that. From our perspective, the soul is called the psychic anatomy, or the spiritual anatomy. It basically consists of three parts. The most important part is the superconsciousness, or the higher self. It's the part that is a collective lessons you've learned in your karmic or reincarnations. All the positive experiences and lessons you've learned through overcoming negativity go to right to your higher self. You have another part of the psychic body that restores all the experiences you've ever experienced in your past lives. So every lifetime we get a brand new subconscious. Every lifetime. But there are the other parts of the psychic body that go with you from life to life. So people who have an ability to do art or science or speaking or whatever it is, that is something you've earned, you've learned in the spiritual dimensions, and you rematerialize it into this dimension. So the soul is something, a spiritual dimension. It's not in the physical, nor should it ever be downloaded, because that is a misuse of spiritual understanding. That goes against eternal wisdom to do that. Now, there are planets who have tried that, and we have information on that, and they regret ever going down that road. So we can learn from the mistakes of other planets, and this is where Unarius really shines. So the soul is the psychic body that lives in another spiritual dimension, not in the physical.
Gina, let's take a question from you over there.